Escaping Denver, Batch 4, Episode 7, The Cost. I guess I've been so preoccupied with Noah and Sara reuniting that I've neglected to address some pretty big developments in our story. Tunnel Tarzan, dead. Harper, dead. And I mean, I should be happy. That crazy clone was after me, and I've had to try to cover my tracks as best I could, and yes, I know I was on a train. Not the smartest. I mean, just think of the trains, and all the cameras at every station. Just littered with eyes, and while I'm not so deluded into thinking that the government, in all of its infinite resources, is hunting for me, I mean, I'm not even on their radar. What I am saying is that the collective, in all of its infinite resources, is hunting me, looking for me, and if I was looking for someone who's riding on trains, I'd start with the cameras at the stations. I'm not even that smart, and I'd start there. What was I thinking? Or maybe this was all part of the plan. Ever think about that? Of course you didn't, because... Look, I'm tired, and I need to know I'm running for a good reason. Beyond for my life, which I acknowledge is already a pretty good reason. You know what I mean? Purpose, answers. And we're about to get some. So sit down, brace yourself or whatever, because things are gonna get weird.
Can you walk quieter?
Honestly, no.
Then stay put. I'll look for him.
Don't just leave me here. Archivist!
Shh.
He let us in. Presumably he's home.
You idiot.
Archivist!
Over here.
You were saying?
Idiot. I was calling you an idiot.
But now?
A lucky one. Let's move.
Hey, slow down. Take in what we're seeing.
I see a lot of wooden boxes.
History. Myth. Legends. Look at the boat.
It's a ship in a cave. You win. That's weird.
It's a ghost ship. Or that.
It's a coffin.
Sarcophagus.
So?
So, there could be a mummy in there.
And?
And it could be cool. I don't know. This is the cool part, though. The part that doesn't suck, where nobody's hunting us.
Well, they're still hunting us.
Not in here.
You think we're on a timeout? Yes, even in here we're being hunted. We need to get what we came for and get out.
But we can get answers.
And we will, but quickly and efficiently. No detours to open up a sarcophagus and unleashing a curse.
So you do know the difference between a coffin and a sarcophagus?
Of course I do. I've seen the mummy. But we're on a mission.
To get my clothes back?
To get your weapon back. And whatever else this archivist can help us with.
Vague mission.
Come on.
Wait. You hear that?
Sounds like an arcade.
Sounds like fun.
Damn it, Noah. I'm not running. Go ahead and get yourself lost, but I'm certainly not running for fun. Noah? I look down for 1 second and lose the idiot. Noah! It's just row after endless row. Noah!
Over here.
There you are.
I've been here all along.
I meant Noah.
That's me.
I deduced as much.
I got next.
You most certainly do not. Why are you both here?
We need your help.
You two have caused enough chaos in my life, and I respectfully decline.
But you've already helped us. Why stop now?
Because I didn't realize you were actually getting messages to the outside world, nor that the stranger was throwing them online for everyone to see.
Did he now?
He did. Now the collective is well aware I've helped you, and I'm on the run.
This is on the run?
Hiding in plain sight. They'd never look for me here.
We did.
Fair point. Damn it.
Can I have next?
Fine. You. What is it you need?
I have a name. It's Sara.
Well, Sara, what is it you need?
Quarter?
You need a quarter?
No, we need help.
I need the quarter.
But I have next. What kind of help?
You gave Noah weapons that have worked. So, maybe something like that?
I was able to arm Noah with the right weapon because I knew what he was up against. Now that you've passed their famed puncher, you're going to have to up the ante. I have no idea what to give you for what you're up against next.
Which is?
The unknown. Whoa! How did you do that?
I don't know. Intuition?
Hang on, what do you mean the unknown? You know everything.
Flattered, but no. I know plenty, but not everything. I didn't know there was a switch there.
You have to jump for it.
So you really can't tell us what we're up against.
No,
Let's go, Noah.
but I can tell you about where you need to go. Does he always have to record? Have you learned nothing?
He sort of does. And almost certainly not.
At this point, it's almost about being a completionist.
As a collector of sorts, I can appreciate that sentiment.
Don't encourage him.
He's the only reason you have my attention.
You were serious about the game thing?
I don't really joke.
Seems like a serious guy.
Exactly. Thank you, Noah.
Okay, fine. So Noah teaches you how to play the game.
How to beat the game.
Same thing.
Whoa, not the same thing. I haven't even beat it.
You made it further than me on a single quarter.
That's because you didn't make it very far, dude. Sorry. Too honest?
What Noah meant,
Is what he said, which is fine. And accurate. And a little hurtful. I've been trying for a couple days now.
don't take it personally. I'm sure Noah got his skills through a misspent youth.
Would you call summers at the arcade misspent?
Yes.
Well, then, yeah, misspent youth.
It's not the game mechanics. I have the coordination of a fighter jet pilot. It's the logic.
I don't know if I can teach logic.
But you'll somehow persevere.
Agreed. Shake on it?
How primitive and binding.
Now I have to.
You always had to. It's our only bartering chip.
I don't think I can teach what I do. It's instinct.
Come on.
I don't know what to call it, but it eludes me, and I would like to know how to beat it.
So much so that you're willing to help us?
If that's the cost, yes.
Perfect. First off, do you have any more magnet
How did you know what to do?
I asked you a question.
And I bypassed you to get my answer first. How? You've never played this game. It hasn't been used since the 80s, where it proved a failure.
Lost money?
No, just didn't get the desired recruitment results. So how did you know?
Recruitment results.
I guess I just knew it was a test, and when you know it's a test, you know there's a right answer.
How did you know it was a test?
Just felt like a puzzle. Didn't it? Like, you start in the hole and immediately have to build the ladder,
Or swing from that box?
which you can't do while holding a bag. So you have to decide between the patience of building a ladder to ensure you have the bag later on, or quickly swing out, foregoing its future necessity.
Are we still talking about an arcade game?
But you have a timer. The ladder takes too long. The dogs come if you...
Yes, the dogs come if you take too long, but that's how you know it's a test. They wouldn't give you a timer unless it was possible within that time. Notice how I finished before the dogs?
Only just.
Only just is all I need. A win is a win, no matter how narrow the margin.
So you know it's a test. What's that affording you?
Hope, I guess. The possibility of success based on probability. If one choice can be the right one, then maybe I'm making that exact choice, you know?
So I need to hope more?
And live, laugh, love more. Are we serious right now? It's a video game.
It's all a game. All a test. This whole fucking nightmare has all been part and parcel of the same experiment. The whole thing.
No, we escaped their test.
No, we escaped their maze. We've never left the test. Couldn't. Can't. We can't leave the experiment because we're the product of the experiment. Everything we do is just testing their hypothesis. Field testing their war toys. Ask him. He'll tell you.
He'll tell me what?
I'd really rather stay out of this.
That they've been keeping tabs on us this whole time. Tracking our carnage. Tallying up our body counts on spreadsheets and graphing the whole fucking thing.
I don't know about the graphing, but yes, they've kept track.
We're still in the test.
I hate that.
It's freeing.
It's hopeless.
You're wrong. It's the only reason to have hope.
I don't know what they did to you, but
They didn't brainwash me. They tortured me. Cut me to bits and let me grow back only to repeat the process. They literally tore me apart, and when that didn't work, they went for my brain. Toyed with me. But that didn't work either. They couldn't break me.
why?
Because we have one common interest. One common goal. They want me to be a success. for us to succeed. They want us to pass the tests, and because we all want the same thing, there will always be a way to win.
You had this epiphany while being tortured?
Oh, God, no. I screamed for death to take me. No epiphanies to be had. It's a mostly now epiphany. A current epiphany.
Oh, that's dangerously hopeful, Noah.
I live dangerously.
You live recklessly.
Same.
Not really.
Fine. I'm sold on this hope thing.
Sold?
I think it'll help me beat the game. Let's head somewhere a little more secure, and I'll give you the answers and help I can.
Ugh, I don't even know how water gets down here. Doesn't make any sense. It's not like it rains. Hi, yes, it's me, and yes, I've immediately fallen into the trap of talking to you while doing something scary so I don't have to do it alone. Right, 4 times charm. Finally, an unlocked door. Thank you to the karma gods because things are finally on the upturn. A ladder. I'm not gonna lie, I got more than a little lost down here. No maps or lights for that matter, but a ladder is all I ever really needed. Right, no one's in sight. It's inspiring a bit, right? The possibility is what drives the hope, and Noah is full of possibility. I'm gonna make my way up this suspicious ladder, and in the meantime, I ask you to keep an open mind. But really, I'd settle for open ears. Good luck.
The fuck? Aliens?
Little bit of a pejorative labeling.
And what would you prefer they be called?
Travelers.
From outer space.
We're all in outer space, technically.
Okay, we're arguing semantics when you just dropped a bomb on us. You better have been recording.
I was from the aliens part, so I think I got it covered.
Are you going to have an open mind?
Yes.
Not you, her. Are you?
Yes.
Good. Then think. Is it really that much of a bomb? You said yourself that the cult called them teachers.
Called them fear beans, but that's not the same as aliens.
Did they now? Not quite as in touch as I would have thought.
Explain.
For a cult that worships the travelers, they've misnamed them.
Not to split hairs, but fear beans is just a nonsense word. You know, like Jabberwocky or Oompa Loompa.
You're right by a half measure. Jabberwocky is indeed a nunce word, and Oompa Loompas were almost called the equally nonsensical Whipple Scrumpets. But fearbean isn't nonsense. It's Danish.
Same thing if you don't speak Danish.
True enough. This one means lizard.
So the cult worships lizard people from space? It feels all too on the nose. Lizard people, secret cabals. I mean, this feels almost staged.
It makes sense it would all be familiar to you. It's impossible to keep a secret, especially when it's occurring on a global scale. Whispers would eventually make it out.
This is more than whispers, mate. Like, even I know about lizard people.
Then even you are wrong. Like your little cult friends.
They're not our friends. They tried to kill us.
Did they not offer Sara a job?
They didn't? Did they?
How could you know that?
You came to me for answers. There's very little I don't know, especially when it pertains to me.
How could my conversation, which has nothing to do with you, have anything to do with you?
It didn't. But the first batch of soldiers they threw at me all knew a few tidbits. I was able to piece together all sorts of information. In this case, it gained relevance when I was able to use it to prove there was mistrust between you.
There's no mistrust.
I mean, you didn't tell me you made a deal with the cult.
I didn't make a deal. He's twisting it. And you haven't told me about what happened to you.
Well, I think my not wanting to relive trauma might be a smidge different than secret alliances.
You're right. I'm sorry. I was
Trying to protect me. I know. Figured. But I'm a big boy. I can take the hard talks.
Just been on the run since, and
Is that really it?
Well, yeah. She said sorry, and because I trust her, we can move on.
You're different, Noah.
yeah, he is. Anyway, I feel like we got way off track.
You said they were misnamed.
What?
You said fear beans was wrong. If not lizards, then what?
I guess amphibian? But even that doesn't quite cover it.
So, frog people? Not a huge pivot.
Axolotl.
More Danish?
Technically, nahuatl. It's an animal.
Never heard of it.
Wait, is that cute salamander thing? You know the one. Looks like it's smiling and has fuzzy-looking gills.
I really don't.
People keep them as pets.
Well, they are said to more closely resemble the axolotl. which are almost extinct because of the pet trade.
People suck. So these adorable amphibian aliens fly to Earth and enslave people?
Enslaving is more of a human thing. The travelers were said to be lonely, the only advanced species in their known travels.
So they came to Earth for friends.
Equals.
When one of you zips across the universe to get to a bunch of apes just discovering fire, you're not equals.
Certainly not at the point of contact. Humans were early in their evolution, but had potential. They just needed guidance. To help them ask the right questions, do the right things, they sought to fast-track humanity's growth.
Did it work?
Rotating crops, aqueducts, mapping of the stars, feats in engineering, arts, sciences. I could go on.
I bet. They meddled in humans' evolution. In Earth's fate.
Sped it up.
Yeah, but at what cost?
And that's where the collective comes in. The cost. After a few thousand years of influence, some humans started figuring out who was pulling the strings. Finally addressing the power imbalance. Groups popped up all over the world to fight back against their perceived overlords, at least until the collective. In the late 19th century, in the heart of a free America,
Seriously?
It's New Coke. I didn't think they made these after the 80s.
they didn't.
Oh, God. That was awful. I think it went bad.
It started bad. Where was I?
The collective being hatched in the nest of a new America.
Poetic. A group of humans, independent thinkers, came across a series of tunnels, a network that featured runic carvings, wild, untamed beasts, and impossible landscapes.
Noah, stop drinking it. So they found these tunnels.
A portion of them, yes. But the travelers hadn't abandoned them. They were still present, still working.
You said the carvings were like 1,000 years old. What were the travelers still doing here in the 1800s?
That's what these humans questioned too. What work could still be happening after all these years?
And when they confronted them?
Oh, they didn't confront them. They tucked tail and ran, escaped with their lives, and more importantly, what they'd seen. They then continued their search, found other caves, other stations, realized just how truly global this situation is, that the travelers were running the show. All governments, all sides of every dispute.
Got to know who the enemy is.
Exactly.
Look, this all makes the collective sound like the good guys, freeing humanity from the slimy clutches of the alien overlords.
Some of humanity's worst atrocities came from the assumption that they were doing what was right for the greater good.
Wait, you're on their side?
I pity them. Lifespans we can't fathom, a depth of loneliness so profound that they traveled the vast expanse of space to find others. And even after they find a planet with a candidate species, nurturing them, guiding them, they still don't end up with an equal, just a bitter enemy.
I'd say it's more like fuck around and find out.
Same. So when did the collective take this facility?
This one? The 1940s, when the world was preoccupied with the Second Great War. The collective used that to ferret out a number of stations globally.
And the travelers, they, sat there and let the collective waltz in? Weren't they in control for, ever?
They weren't in control. Were they strategically placed in positions of power and influence? Yes, of course, but merely to facilitate their modus operandi of guiding and teaching.
Well, if they stuck to guiding and teaching, humans would never have been angry enough to form a resistance. You're preaching fantasy.
It was what they set out to do.
But is that what they did?
No, power. It was and is a vice like no other. The travelers weren't prideful, egotists, or vengeful. They were above all else curious, but didn't have the same hang-ups as humanity. But for all their strengths, they simply weren't equipped to handle the power and responsibility of gods. I imagine few are. Corruption was inevitable.
Look, they had to know what they were doing, though. You don't show up with fancy technology and assume they'll greet you as equals. Plus, they look like giant bipedal salamanders.
Axolotl.
Same thing.
If it was the same thing, I wouldn't have used a different word.
Hey, let's all just take a mo. Take a breath. I get it. You're the archivist of all archivists, so wording matters. Axolotl.
Thank you.
And Sara brings up a solid point. You're making it sound like the travelers, through no fault of their own, stumbled into controlling the human race. Which I think we can all agree sounds crazy pants. It's not a whoopsie like making a baby. This would be like slipping and accidentally making a Fiat. What do they think would happen when they landed in their ship?
They didn't land. At least not initially.
Okay, hovered, whatever.
There wasn't a ship.
They teleported?
No.
Then I don't... This isn't a Stargate thing, is it?
Not quite. There's nothing that describes it in the runes. Nothing in the writings. More whispers, rumors, and inference. They all point to an axis deep underground.
So at the heart of all of this is a door?
Basically, yes.
And then what? The collective tested on us to make a new army?
No. They tested on you to make a key.
I knew it! I knew it. The door. It must be the door that Tunnel Tarzan was afraid they'd open. Unless there are multiple doors, which I wouldn't be surprised about. But for now, let's focus on what the Archivist said, that the collective was trying to make a key. How can a person be a key, right? Well, fingerprints can be, but I have a feeling there are easier ways to Well, there was that spaceship thing too that Noah was able to dip his fingers into. You know, in Batch 2, Episode 7 or 8, The Craft. So maybe not. It's not that, but it could be something like that. Something that makes Noah, or Sara for that matter, differ from others. Why the scientists couldn't dip their fingers in the ship goo, but Noah could. And if this is your first episode, why are you starting here? Please go back, listen to the past batches, and words like ship goo will make sense. I can't keep talking here. It's not safe. Too out in the open. But how do you think Noah and Sara are the key? Shoot me an email at escapingdenverpod@gmail.com, or better yet, join the conversation on Reddit at r/escapingdenver. I'll be back next week for another episode of... Couldn't be. Lanky.